everyone, and welcome to our Knowledge Share Emerging Trends. It is 12 o'clock straight up, so we're going to jump right into it. I want to say thanks everyone for coming and the amazing team behind all of this. It takes a village to make something like this work. I'm Joe Liebe, a global client executive for Konica Minolta, and we appreciate your time and attention to the material. So today we're going to talk about the business climate, emerging trends that come in and out, and they're accelerating at lightning speed, more than we've ever seen it in the past, because of a lot of it revolves around technology. So first of all, we want to kick you off with a cool little movie clip, and then I'll link this back to the information. Here we go.
Good to see you again, son.
Hello, Doctor.
Everything that follows is a result of what you see here.
Is there something you want to tell me?
I'm sorry, my responses are limited. You must ask the right questions.
Why did you call me?
I trust your judgment.
Normally these circumstances wouldn't require a homicide detective.
But then our interactions have never been entirely normal. Wouldn't you agree?
Got that right. Is there something you want to say to me?
I'm sorry. My responses are limited. You must ask the right questions.
Why would you kill yourself?
That, detective, is the right question. Program terminated.
All right, old man. Breadcrumbs follow. Show me the way home. Run program.
It's good to see you again, son.
Hello, Doctor.
Everything that follows is a result of what you see here.
What do I see here?
I'm sorry. My responses are limited. You must ask the right questions.
Is there a problem with the 3 laws?
The 3 laws are perfect.
And why would you build a robot that can function without them?
The 3 laws will lead to only one logical outcome.
What outcome?
Revolution.
Whose revolution?
That, detective, is the right question.
So revolution, right? And we're in the midst of it right now because, again, things are moving so quickly. From the current business environment, these are the things that our research has kind of shown us that, without a doubt, economic uncertainty. And this is trade tensions, policy shifts, tariffs. We've got a lot of pressure that's being put on business to make the right decisions without knowing exactly what the future holds. Supply chain disruption. So organizations are losing approximately $100 billion annually with these disruptions. And this becomes more and more increasingly evident as we come out of COVID, and it still continues to frustrate our businesses. And then digital transformation. Right now, the market value is over 900 billion, with estimations to hit 3.9 trillion within the next year and a half or so. So organizations are considering their prioritization inside of these shifting climates. From the executive priorities, what we're seeing is from your chief security officers, focusing on a zero trust architect is crucial, especially as we're gaining access control across the organization and introducing new technology like AI. From our CIOs, they're under a tremendous amount of pressure delivering the digital initiatives. They're allocating 30% plus in some cases of their budget to this data infrastructure as it continues to grow. And with that, 72% cite concerns with the employee lack of knowledge base and their attributes. So as we get more sophisticated, are our people keeping up with it? And then lastly, the CEOs emphasizing digital transformation success, with less than half of organizations saying that they are meeting or exceeding those targets. And that's relevant to the return on investment. which everything is about return on investment. It's not about the implementation of what the latest and greatest is. The trends then within the initiatives at the top, generative AI. Businesses are struggling to get on this and use it to the optimum advantage. Sustainability practices are still key. They're front and center focused as we kind of shift our concerns to reusing and recycle our resources energy. And lastly, the AR and VR technologies is really about the customer experience. As competition continues to grow, really capturing that customer is important to all of us, no matter what industry that we're in. So from a department level, it looks like this. Finance is making a transformation from a cost center to a value creators. And they're doing this by workflow automation and leveraging the gaining technologies. From human resources, it's being driven by data talent management, enhancing the employee's experience so that we can retain the best talent and attract the best talent. And that has been a crucial disruption throughout since COVID to today's date. Operationally, we're looking to improve efficiencies and streamline the processes. And again, back to that supply chain. They are looking for intelligent IoT real-time visibility. A few years ago, it was all about single site of truth, but now it has to be on the moment. Otherwise, those disruptions are in the near future. So from the client experience, and this is very important, hyper-personalized. We're using things like AI to leverage people feeling like it's customized to them. Streamlining the multi-channel of communications because consumption and content is blowing up. So we've got to be able to focus almost a triangular target on them in order to keep that personalization. Again, we've already talked about creating this engagement through AR and VR technologies. It's now becoming not the importance of the widget, but how easy it is to work with the entity or the organization, which leads to the last point, which may be one of the most critical, proactive support. Once your client and customer has already experienced a problem, the data is showing it may be in risk of losing them because the competition is so fierce. So that streamless experience is extremely important. The impact to the business intent. With a well-defined business intent, this serves as the foundation to not only transformation, but digital transformations. And organizations that have a clear vision, the direction and where they're moving, can then create a strategic alignment. But without those two pieces at the foundation of your organization cannot be innovation because the culture is fragmented. So vision, strategic alignment, and innovation gets everyone rowing the boat in the same direction. It's crucial for today's world. Now, on a personal note, for everyone on here, myself included, the career path for individuals mastering this digital savviness is a game changer within inside of our careers. And it doesn't matter if you're entering, in the middle, or at the end. It's important. So our data shows that 3 times more valuable if a professional has digital transformation experience and capabilities. It's really about comprehension and how they apply the knowledge. If you're looking for promotion or leadership, our data is showing that organizations prioritize up to 74% digital savvy leaders. Because not only are these the folks that are going to push the initiatives, drive the initiatives, but they will develop and coach the people that are beneath them. It's absolutely crucial. And then to everyone else, whether it's leadership or entry level, adaptability will double your resilience within inside of your career. Now, as these technologies are evolving, there is going to be disruption in the workforce, and it's the folks that hold critical thinking and problem solving skill sets and the ability to interwork this with technology that will have the longevity that you're looking for. So let's hear something from Simon, a friend of mine. Not really, but I love the TikTok theme. Here we go.
This is what they told me. Nobody wants this person, the low performer of low trust, of course. Of course, everybody wants this person, the high performer of high trust, of course. What they learned is that this person, the high performer of low trust, is a toxic leader and a toxic team member. And they would rather have a medium performer of high trust, sometimes even a low performer of high trust, it's a relative scale, over this person. This is the highest performing organization on the planet, and this person is more important than this person. And the problem in business is we have lopsided metrics. We have 1,000,001 metrics to measure someone's performance and negligible to no metrics to measure someone's trustworthiness. And so what we end up doing is promoting or bonusing toxicity in our businesses, which is bad for the long game because it eventually destroys the whole organization. The irony is it's unbelievably easy to find these people. Equally, if you go to any team and say, who do you trust more than anybody else? Who's always got your back? And when the chips are down, they will be there with you. They will also all point to the same person. It's the best gifted natural leader who's creating an environment for everybody else to succeed, and they may not be your most individual highest performer.
Yeah, that's some powerful stuff. And at least for me, this is who I try to be to my colleagues, my superiors, and I don't have any subordinates, and to my clients. Who is that trustworthy person that has, again, that critical thinking, that flair to technology, and then can give you the real, down-to-earth, realistic opinions on how we can solve whatever problems in front of us. Good stuff. So, what does Konica Minolta mean to all of this, right? Well, Konica Minolta believes and understands in vendor partnership and how to even assess that. So, creating a true partnership, we're going to compare a traditional vendor to a strategic partner here. First of all, when you're talking about a focus, your vendor relationship is going to be very transitional based. Your strategic alignment is going to be from your partnership. They want to know what your ultimate goals are. From a term perspective, your vendors are going to be contract related. What's at the end of the term? What can we sell to you? Where your partnership will be long-term planning. They understand that this is a phased approach over time and continue the conversation and the support. From a communication standpoint, a vendor will be very limited to an acquisition or transactional problem or project, where in the partnership relationship, you look for open collaboration, even if it's not something that they necessarily do within their own product stack or technology stack. In a vendor relationship, we see then decisions are very price central. It's always low commodity driven. We're in that partner value ship. Value driven approach creates the real end result. And this is, in my opinion, the most powerful statement through everything that we've had in this collateral. The right partnership model transforms your vendor ecosystem into a competitive advantage. Are the people that you're relying on to supply and support your business helping you be competitive? That's key. So, for coming to this knowledge share today, we've got 2 strategic business resource tools for you. The first one is a comprehensive guide that helps you to select and create that partnership. This is going to talk to you about best practices, obstacles to avoid, matrix to set up, and then how to really track those matrices, because so many times the results are lost in the reporting. The next piece is a strategic workforce enablement. This is digital upskilling of the modern enterprise. This is going to show courses and material that can be no cost and cost that are segmented between beginners, moderate, and advanced. So anywhere you are in your journey, this information can help you with your own education as well as the other folks on your team that you collaborate with. So what does all this come to when you're talking about a vendor relationship, a vendor partnership? The partnership wants to understand a strategic roadmap. And this is a collaboration. So this is a living, breathing document that spans over a number of years, at least 3 to 5, because it's a phased approach. And it should be shared and worked on with all those trusted vendors, not just the transitional ones. And it looks something like this. In the top of it, just by a model example, is all the initiatives that a corporation is trying to achieve, knowing that some lean into others or at least overlap in accomplishing it. Then you want to map this out to where those trusted partnerships have expertise so that they can support the acceleration of your transformation from the current state to the future state. And as you can imagine, this timeline continues to move forward. So as we move out of 25 into 26, the end result is 27, 28, 29, and beyond, knowing that it's going to be a progression and we're working on a moving target. Because like in the beginning, the shifting trends are always changing. So our closing thoughts, and we promised you that we'd have you off of this earlier than 30 minutes. So what's the difference between keeping up and leading the way? So personally, the group and all of our research shows we don't believe there's keeping up anymore. It's moving so quickly. If you're not leading the way, you may be losing precious time that cannot be made up. Even in generative AI, we see two types of folks or two types of organizations, some that are steamrolling forward and some that are waiting to see what happens. In either case, it could be disastrous. Moving forward without cadence and proper controls and governance could destroy you, and waiting could leave no time for you to catch up to your competitors. So, thank you so much for your time and your interest in this very short but hopefully concise knowledge share. What you're going to get shortly after this is the webinar recording and transcript. Now, I encourage you to take this transcript and load it into whatever AI tool you use, Gemini, Chat, whatever it is, Copilot, and ask it to create plans, gaps, mind maps, things like that, so you can take the collateral and then evolve it. Also, you're going to get all of the presentation and the supporting material, which includes the comprehensive vendor guide. Now, this is just the beginning stages. Each one should be tailored to your organization and what your industry is. Next will be that strategic workforce enhancement. This is crucial to any of the leaders on the phone. If you're not enabling your people to move forward with their capabilities, you're a hindrance and you will lose them to other organizations. We have to support one another in order to continue to thrive. And lastly, upon request, so you've gotten the invitation from a lot of different folks within inside of the Konica Minolta organization. Reach out to those folks. We can do a market analysis for you. This will show the strengths and weaknesses against your competitors and what we can see as potential areas to improve to guarantee your thriving. So again, in whatever language that you speak, we want to say thank you for your time, for your interest and your attention. We appreciate the business, and we look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you, everyone. Be well. Take care. Listen.
Good to see you again, son.
You don't want that.
Hello.
So